Welcome to the RBA Podcast. It's your host, T. Dre. Hey, what's going on, family? What's going on? This is a great audience around Ball Academy. Thank you all for joining me in tonight. Oh, man, here we go again. Got a wonderful special guest in the house, Coach Alton Heard. What's up, Coach?
What's going on? What's going on, Terry? I'm doing good. How you doing, my man?
Man, I'm good, man. Thank you so much for taking time out to join me tonight on the RBA Podcast, man. You told me it's your first podcast, but you sitting over there looking like a boss over there.
Well, I watch podcasts all the time, so hopefully I've learned something.
All right, I hear you, man. So tell the audience, man, who's Alton Heard?
Alton Heard is I'm the ISD coordinator at Bell Chase Academy. I'm the athletic director. I coach girls basketball at Morris Jeff High School. I'm married. I have 3 daughters. All 3 are in college right now. And I'm a family man who like to fish and hunt outdoors, but I also love basketball. Sports spirit. Yeah.
Love basketball.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about Kenner Angels, man. How did the program get started? Is it your program? Tell me what's going on.
No, actually, it's not my program, man. Kenner Angels program has been around for a very long time here in the state of Louisiana. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, if someone please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the longest existing program in the state of Louisiana. It started in 1989. It's been rolling ever since. I joined the Kenner Angels organization. I went ahead and merged my organization, EVP Lady Eagles, with them a few years back, and man, it's been a marriage in paradise ever since.
Oh man, that's great, man. So we got Q Boy in the chat. He said, "What's up, Unc? This dinner." So we got Q Boy joining us tonight. So shout out to you, Q Boy. So Coach, man, you know what I'm saying? So you partner up. We got involved in a program that has some longevity to it, which is very rare in these days. But you guys have been rocking and rolling for a long time. What is it about Kenner Angels that drew you to them and just you stay loyal to it?
Well, to be honest with you, man, I was with one program and I started my own, and I was at a crossroad because I know that this was bigger than me, and they had some programs that wanted to merge with me. Kenner Angels was not the one that called and said, "Hey, man, let's merge." But I sought out them because I know the organization is a well-put organization. It's very structured. They're organized, and they've been around for a while. A lot of these programs come and go, and I know they have endured the test of times. So we went ahead 4 or 5 years ago and merged right after COVID. And I had 2 groups that I brought on over there, and they were trying to build it back up because at that time, I think if I'm not mistaken, for the first time in a long time, they had went down to 2 or 3 teams. Well, within that 1 year, I think we had a 5th grade team, we had a 6th grade team, we had a 7th grade team, we had all the way up to 11. In fact, we had 2 11th grade teams. Coach Dennis, who's the president for the organization, he's the longest survivor, however you want to say, who's been around with the Kenner Angels for all these years, and he's still here. He's not coaching anymore, but he's working remotely, but he still kind of hold all the business for the organization because he's an engineer, so he travels a lot right now. But with the strong support of Coach Jamie, she coaches over at Mount Carmel, very good, successful coach, won state championship, and she's a Kenner Angels alumna. And along with Coach Gabby, who's also at AOL, who's a Kenner alumnus, and they've just been around a long time. They wanted to make sure to see this thing through and continue to build this program back up to where it used to be.
Yeah. So you mentioned something in regards to the program, and we have come out of COVID, and what has been one of the biggest challenges for maybe your program or what you see in grassroots basketball as we have come out of COVID and looking forward to the future?
Well, like I said, one of the things that I really appreciate with the Kenner Angels, what they've done was they really built the program up and tried to make AU basketball and ground rule basketball available for everybody. For the longest, AU basketball was for those kids who wanted to go to the next level and play on the collegiate level. They have made it available for those kids, because we might have an A team or B team, et cetera, or whatever. And they made it available for those groups to have, if you just want to be a better high school basketball player, if you want to start on varsity, or you want to make all districts. So they try to make it available for all of those girls, not just for those girls who want to go to the next level to play basketball, but for those young ladies who just want to get better and get around better girls. And so they've done an awesome job creating an environment for those young ladies to come and walk in the train, to get better, to develop, and want to be a part of this grassroots program that's been around for a long time here in the metropolitan area of New Orleans.
Man, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Yeah, a lot of folks jumping in this chat. I butchered names. So we got Dajane Carter. She said, "Hey, Coach Heard," and Jada Heard says, "Hey, Dad." So
she's at college. She's away at college. She's just coming on in, man.
Oh man, she at college balling, or she just at college?
No, she played high school basketball. She played middle school and high school ball, but after that, she said that's it for her. Once she got to college, that was a wrap. She had enough of me yelling in her ear. I
was just about to say that. She probably had enough of Dad yelling at her. She just want to be Daddy's girl now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, man. So, we're getting ready for the Capital Coup, man. I want to thank you so much for your opportunity to allow me to, to cover your program, your girls. You are head coach of the 17U team, and you're loaded with talent. So tell us a little bit about your team, man.
Oh man, this is a special group. We don't have the Power Fives or anything like that, but every girl who's on this particular group has the ability to play on the next level. We have Kisanja Nelson, who's our point guard. She's a true floor general. I don't know if you want me to get into those names right now and just talk about the team.
Yeah, general. Man. Hey, what I got told you before we came on, man. We just two brothers here talking basketball, man. So however you want to roll, man, we can roll with it.
Yeah, okay. So right now, I'm a firm believer. Number one, the older the kids get, the less numbers I really want to have, because those kids needs to be on the court. So right now we have 8. We're supposed to have 9, and one of the girls.
Let me jump in. And sorry for interrupting you, but you just said something that I really want you to touch on and elaborate on. As you get older, you don't want to have that many kids. You see sometimes these programs having 15 kids. Some of them have 15 plus kids on the team. Tell me why that is so important, especially as they get older.
The reason why, because college coaches, they're trying to get to so many courts in a short period of time. They might come to your game and see a girl for a quarter or a half, and then go jump to another quarter or a half to another court. So I need to make sure all of these girls who are on my team, while those coaches are on the sideline, hit that court before they leave to go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So if I have to sit there and decide if they have 10 to 12 girls to get them in the playing time, well, that's cutting the girls out who really need to be seen by these college coaches who are coming to the sideline and coming to our game to see if these kids are consistent from previous games, or just seeing if they want to welcome them to their program, et cetera, et cetera. So it's very important to me not to have too many girls on my team as they get older, because, again, like I said earlier, that I want to make sure that these girls are on the court. I'm not fighting. They're not fighting for playing time. I don't have time to be thinking, oh, man, this girl got to get on the court. I need to get her out there before somebody, before these coaches leave, et cetera, et cetera. So I just want to make sure that they are on the court when those coaches are there.
Great answer. Now, I know a lot of coaches struggle with that because they're trying to keep kids and they want to, they keep people, parents and things. Families been around a long time, but they understand that as they get older, especially when, like you said, when these coaches come into these courts, they have so many kids they're watching for, and you want to make sure that you're putting your girls in the best position to be successful. So go ahead and continue with your team, Coach. Talking about your team.
So right now I have 8 girls who are participating. It would have been 9, but the 9th girl, we're going to talk about her soon. And I know you and I text each other, and you're like, man, you want to see this girl Raven, but she's going to be special. I had a long talk with her mom and her dad. She got to put that time in, because she has that look that a lot of coaches want to look at. Okay, but right now, Kisanja Nelson, floor general. A lot of people talking about point guards. True point guards are not out here no more. Well, that's a lie until they see Kisanja Nelson. She has a lot of wealth and experience with her. She comes from a very strong background of basketball, especially with the high school that she goes to. They have won, if I'm not mistaken, in the past 10 years, I think they won 9 state championships. And so here in the state of Louisiana. But she is the floor general for us. She keeps the train going. As long as she's on the court, I know everything is going to be productive. She's small in stature, and that's one of the biggest issues right now that we're having. So we're trying to develop her to where her game is, her shots are kind of like we pushing her game out a little bit further. because she could finish that against anybody. She has a mid-range out of this world. She could shoot off the dribble. But now we just want to extend her game a little bit more because she's a underclassman, 26, playing against 17U25. So that's the floor general for us. This is the first year, and this is the first year in 3 years, I have to say. We have to change our system a little bit because we always had wings and guards. I never had bigs, so God bless, but not just one wing. I mean, one big, but two bigs. So I have Kaylee Dumpling. She is special, man. She's getting some looks right now. She's not only a big who can play inside. You take her for granted. She stepped behind that 3-point line, and I have to say she's probably one of the best 3-point shooters that we have on our team. You know, I hope I don't say too much. Somebody play against us, then they'll know. I don't want to give too many of our secrets away. I want them to think that okay, she's out there, she's a big, she's not gonna shoot. Yeah, keep on thinking that she's gonna shoot your eyes out. You know, and so she's special, man, and she has a good head on her shoulder as well. Not just being special in basketball, but she has a good head on her shoulder. She's a very smart, intelligent young lady with a good high IQ, and so I'm glad to have her along with Bria Igana on the team as well. You know, we like I said, I never had two bigs. I never had one big in the previous years. We just had wings and guards. So in 1 year, I got not one, but I got two. So I was blessed with two bigs. I got the Energizer Bunny and Bailey Timmons. Man, I hope that's one of my prayers right there, bro. To God every morning, I say, God bless me with the energy that this girl right here has. She just go. I'm thinking she's tired. I put on the bench to get some rest. She's standing up, chilling for her teammates, running side to side by me. I got to tell her to sit down and get some rest. I need to go back out on the court, man. She just don't stop running. You know what I'm saying? So Bailey is the Energizer Bunny. You know, she's a good finisher. You know, she works real hard. She wants to get better. I think she's going to be a good young lady. Then we have Addison. She's new to the program. And this is one of the young ladies at the end of the game. You're like, man, this girl got 10, 12 points. You never know because she's so solid. She does her job. She's one of the persons. She's a blue collar worker. She's gonna do all the little things correct. You know, she catches on very fast. You just got to tell her one time, and she got it. And she's communicative with her players and her teammates, and communicating on the court to make sure everybody's in the right place. You know, so I was glad to pick her up this year to add along to this group that we had. Who else do we have in this group that I'm missing?
Did you talk to me about Kaylin?
Kaylin Dublin, that's the big. That's the one I'm telling you about. Yeah, that's the one I'm saying. Yeah, that's the one who you think, you know, she stepped behind that 3-point line, that she's not going to shoot the ball. But if I'm not mistaken, and please, if you're listening to me, if I'm wrong, I think she's leader in our 3-point leader right now on the team as a big, as a 6'1".
Oh, wow.
Big. Oh, yeah. So she's doing real good for us. That's Kaylin Dublin. She goes to Chappelle High School out here in New Orleans.
Yeah, I was looking over the roster that you had sent me over, and you know, Addison Pontiff. You know, you mentioned she's like a blue collar type player.
Yes, sir. Blue collar type player. She works real hard, boxes out. She does all the little things correct. You know, you don't have to tell her twice. She catches on the first rip. And I'm gonna be honest. All these girls have a good IQ. They all come from private schools. It wasn't designed like this. It's just something that just happened. I only have one girl, Summer. I'm gonna talk about her in a second. I don't think she's on that list, but Summer is a smaller version of Angel Reese to me. She finds a way to get to the basket, man. She just have a knack for the basketball. I don't know how she do it. I remember her first year, you know, she came because the last year was her first year playing AU basketball. And she come to the side and she said, God damn, coach, I got to get on the weights. So she didn't realize that AAU basketball was going to be as tough and as hard as it was. But man, I tell you, even with the biggest of the biggest girl, because she's about 5'9", but she's small in stature. She's a very slim young lady. But she finds a way to get and you know, she throws it up. You know, I don't know if you saw Angel Reese game, but sometimes she looks throwing the ball up. That's my Summer, man. She just find a way to get the ball in the hole, and I'm just, you know, like I'll be wanting to say, man, don't shoot the ball like that. You're making us look bad, but some kind of way it goes in, you know. So she's a hell of an athlete. She's very coachable. She wants to learn. She wants to get better, and she's a good defensive player. You know what I'm saying? So Summer is our smaller version of Angel Reese, you know. I know I'm missing somebody on that team, on that roster. Who else I got on that roster that I missed?
We talked about Raven, you talked about Addison, Kaylin, Cassandra, and Bailey. Them who I have. Those the ones I have.
Yeah. So Raven is an 8th grader, man. Her sister Riley's on our team. They're both about 5'10". Raven is an 8th grader. She's been playing varsity ball since 7th grade. It's something special about her. She was actually going to be playing on Jamie's team. I mentioned Jamie. She's one of the admin for the Ken Angels. But she also was going to play on my team as well. Her dad, her mom wanted her to continue to play on a high level, and I thought that was a good idea because I think that she can play on that level. Even though she wasn't going to get as much playing time because she's still a young body or whatever. But she's somebody, when you see her, you're like, there's something special about this young lady. We just got to get on the court. So right now you won't see her because she also played volleyball. And in her last tournament volleyball game for the summer or for the spring, she got a big old knot on her ankle. Wow. So I don't know if you're going to see her at all this summer. We're going to see. Yeah, she's in a boot right now. Wow. That was the one I really wanted y'all to check out too. Another one I want y'all to check out besides the other young ladies.
Yeah. So, man, once again, like I said, welcome to the RBA Podcast. I want to welcome all the guests that are chiming in. We got Nadia, Casimir. We got Jay Sherber. Jay Sherber said Coach Heard is a true strategist and talent scout, a visionary coach. So, man, you're getting a lot. They're showing you a lot of love here in the chat, man. So, to all the audience, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We got so much coming your way, especially as we prepare for the Capital Cool in Birmingham, Alabama. That's going to be here in a couple of weeks. And if you're a coach that hasn't registered, go ahead. You see it scrolling across the bottom. You can visit roundballacademy.com to secure a spot. It is going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be loaded with talent, and it's going to be taking place at the Finley Center and at the BJCC. So, Coach Heard, you participated in Round Ball Academy events before. Yes. Tell me what stands out about Round Ball Academy events and what separates the RBA events?
Competition, man. They're the truth. If you got to come, you can't put in the mom and pop team in there. If you do, you're gonna get you'll get spanking over there. So not only the competition, but also she has a good representation of NCAA coaches that come down to make sure that they are there to want to see new talent that's going to be displayed on the court for that particular weekend viewing period. I've been participating in round ball basketball. Oh man. Maybe 12 years now. I started off with Louisiana Lady Pumas, and then with my organization. Yeah, I don't know if you remember that group, very well organized organization. Then I had my group, but when I had my group, we were just getting started, but then COVID hit, and then we merged with Ken Angel, so it continued on. So we not only play and participate in the Capital Cool Classic, which is going to come up in next weekend, but we also do Battle on the Bayou. We also do Big Easy Hoop Fest. We're going to be at Big Easy Hoop Fest in Memphis. So we try to, support Kim as much as possible. She put a good all product on out there for us, and I'm always blessed to be a part of it. And just continue to have my girl shine, in her tournaments.
Man, the sentiments for Kim is absolutely amazing from coaches across the country, man. Like everybody I've talked to talks about how well ran the RBA events are, how strategic she is, how cordial she is, how inviting she is. It's just what is it about Kim that you feel that makes this, or what she's developed so special?
She's so down to earth. I don't even know if she know my name, but when she talks to me or see me, she act like she's been knowing me for years. Now she probably remember my face, but not my name. But I tell you, she's approachable. She's not that person to sit high and have everybody run her program. If you want to talk to her, you can reach out to her by phone, by text, by email, and she's going to answer you back. So when you have a person who's really there for you and really care about you, want to make sure that that they're putting a good product out on the court, and want to make sure that you are satisfied. Like I said, she does a good job of that. That's big for me. People always talking about, we never had to really pay for a tip everybody every time we went out somewhere, but this is my tip for her, and that thing is she just that type of person, man. She want to make sure that the customer service is there, and she's putting a good product out there to make sure that everything goes well for you and your organization when you come in and play in her tournaments. Yeah.
So you've pretty much answered this next question, but I want to see if you can elaborate on it a little bit more. If there's some coaches out there that's still looking for events to participate in, why should they come to an RBA event?
Number one, you're gonna get a good amount of number of coaches who are going to be there at the tournament. Number two, you're going to have good competitions. Number three, it's going to be well organized. Number four, you're going to get your schedule and everything is going to be handed to you ahead of time so you can prepare and let your parents know so you can seem like it's very organized as well. So when you have all those 5 elements in, at your hand, I think that's enough said right there to make you want to participate in it. And like I said, the venues that she have also, she try to make sure that all of her events are under one roof. Let me tell you how important that is, because I've been a part of tournaments where you're at different locations. And that becomes very difficult because those coaches now have to kind of like separate or try to figure out what gym they're going to stage themselves at. When you're playing over for Capital Coup Classic, she have the Finley Center and she have one other gym, but she try to put, a lot of the main teams in the Finley Center, then other gym, I think it's the younger kids, if I'm not mistaken. When she's doing the Battle of Bayou in Capital Coup, the Battle of Bayou and what's the other one? Big Easy Hoop Fest. All that's under one roof. So when you have all of those coaches right there, they can just jump from one court to the next. It makes it very accessible for those coaches, and they like that. And that's better for us too, because now we know that if we are in one game and it might just peek over to another court, a court or something like that, and see this game like, who this team is over here? What's going on? It might just come on over there and want to see us play, So I think that's important too as well.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I know Kim appreciates that, and the Round Ball staff definitely appreciate that. The Capital Coup Classic, May 17th through 19th in Birmingham, Alabama. It is going down, and we're so excited about it. Can't wait for it to tip off. And, it's going to be an amazing event like it always is here at the Round Ball Academy. Coach, how did you get involved in coaching?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm really a football guy. I played football all my life. I stopped playing basketball a long time ago, and I had just picked up basketball when I got into teaching, like a little side thing, like it was a little something that just happened because the AD said, man, we don't have a coach. Can you coach the girls? So I went ahead and did it. But I never did high school because the football team that I coached on high school, we've always went deep into the playoff. Yeah. So I always did on the middle school side. And so from way back in the heyday, Andrew J. Bell Junior High School, things have changed here in all these parishes to where, all of it's K through 8th grade, where before you had K through 6, and then you had junior high, then you had high school. Well, at that time, I had started off, like I said, with junior high school, and I've been coaching over there at Andrew J. Bell, and I went from Bell to, I did 1 year at Landry Middle School, and then now where I'm at right now at Bell Chase Academy. Never really thought I was going to really get into AU basketball because I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't like AU basketball. I know that's crazy, but 1 year we played, because I'm a big fundamentalist and I like to develop kids. And so that was my big thing. That's what I harp on. It wasn't all about the X's and O's. It's about developing kids' skill because I thought that was the one thing that was lacking in girls basketball. So in doing so, we had got really good. And then I thought we could start playing the big dogs now. And I did play the big dogs, and the big dogs let me know you're still a little pup.
You're a little pup.
Yeah, and so I wound up talking to the coach, and I asked him, I said, man, what y'all do? Y'all girls are pretty good. I said, man, all these girls play AU basketball. As much as I didn't want to do it, I said, you know what? I'm going to have to jump in that ring. And so that's how I got into AU basketball. I started only with the girls at the school I'm at right now, Bell Chase Academy. We was getting our butt kicked at first, but the girls got better and better. And because of what everybody else was seeing, that's when they started wanting their kids to come be a part of Bell Chase Academy as well. And we made a dynasty for ourselves over there. And then from there, I gave football up. I finally gave it up after we won the state championship and everything like that. I said, that's enough because that became 11 months out of the year job, man. It's a lot, And so when I gave football up, then the phone started ringing. And then I got into Morris Jeff High School. And so at that time, I started getting to high school. Well, even before that, I had been coaching some high school AAU teams as well. And so I nobody used this term, but me, I call it tours. Well, I always try to start a group at 8th grade and move up to 9, 10, 11. And I drop back down 8, 9, 10, 11. And so this is how I got into basketball because one of the ADs at the junior high school asked me and said, man, I need a basketball coach. Now, at the time, like I said, I knew some X's and O's. I wasn't really an X and O guy, but because of the teacher in me, I always wanted the girls to learn. And that's what I started with Foundation and just teaching them, the fundamentals of the game, training them, making sure, because I'm not real crafty and fancy with the balls, but I promise you, you're not gonna be able to take the good ball from my girls because I teach them ball separation, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
So you sound like a wealth of knowledge, Coach. Who's your mentor?
Oh man, I hope he's listening. It's crazy, man. And it might sound funny when I say this, but every man needs a man. You know what I'm saying? And this is my man right here. Yeah. When I need somebody to talk to, about basketball, and say, no, Coach, this is how you do it, blah, blah, but this is how you got to go about it. And none but the great Adam Frank, man. He was the point guard for oh my God, Millman Moses when they played ball together at Louisiana Tech. Okay. Yeah, so he's around. He just retired playing. He just retired from the school system up in Baton Rouge area. But that's the guy I go to, Adam Frank, man. He's the man.
Man, tell us what is one thing you learned from him that you carry every single day?
Okay, that's a good question, because at one time, there's this old saying, you're only as good as your weakest link. Frank said, man, forget that. You take that best girl on your team, and you build that team around that girl. You got to build them up to her. And so, and I say that's true, because when you have that kid, if you holding her back because you're trying to get these other girls up, then that's not going to help her to develop and evolve. And so what I started doing the opposite, and that was the thing. Whoever that was the best kid or best kids on that particular team, y'all got to move up to where they are, because I know they're going to evolve, and the more they evolve, they're going to help you all evolve as well.
That's awesome. It. Got a lot of people in the chat. If you have any questions for Coach Heard, feel free to drop them in the chat. While you're dropping some questions in the chat, feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like this video, because we're going to be dropping more. We want you to stay in touch with the RBA podcast. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. So, Coach, you mentioned earlier in regards to this is the first time in a while that you have changed your system around. How do you view coaches who have systems and they try to put that system on top of their players instead of seeing what they have as players and working their system around the players?
Well, I think that that's a disadvantage for the kids, because if you have used to running a high-low basketball, but you have no bigs, then that's a problem. And I think that's one of the issues that I have with myself. I'm not an expert in any offense, because every so often I change, because I change my offense depending on the kind of kids I have. And so when you have a particular group of kids, like if why you running pick and roll and you don't got kids who could dribble the ball, you know what I'm saying? So that's a problem. Why you running dribble drive and you don't have kids who could really, penetrate into the paint to, make good finishes or whatever like that. You have to really take a really hard look at your group of girls and what you have, and try to design or not design, because it's not about creating an offense, because there are a lot of offenses now that's out there. You could just pick. You go to YouTube or whatever and just find out about it. Talk to some coaches out here to help you out to design or have an offense, designated for the kind of talent that you have. So when you ask me, what do I have, to tell these coaches out here who are so into one particular offense, I think, that's a disadvantage for the kids, because you might not putting that kid in the best situation to be successful, so yes.
That's good right there, Coach. So there's a Jessica Heard. She said, Coach Heard, do you think you ever want to coach college basketball?
Man, that's my crazy daughter. She's been trying to get me to get out. She said, Dad, you need to get this up. This is not for you no more. You should get on a college level. And, and I see I hear what she's saying, but my thing is, I don't know what it is. Like I just told you, I'm not best X's and O guys, because I always change my offense depending on the kind of kids I have. Now, I'm structured, I'm very disciplined, I'm very organized, and I know how to put a team together. So, I don't know if that equates to being able to coach on the college level, whatever like that. Now, if you just say football, that's something different. But for basketball, I still think I'm evolving and developing to being a good basketball coach, so.
All right. So we got Queen Key. She said, what is this group of girls' biggest strength as a team?
Oh, they work together. I mean, I don't know how long you've been around, ground root basketball, but I've been around some teams, man. I thought my team was going to fall apart because the girls didn't get along. The parents
Yeah.
didn't get along, et cetera, et cetera. This group here, not only the kids get along, the parents are cheering for the kids. They all work together. I just had one of my parents, man, just went ahead and just paid for all of our tournaments for the remainder of the year, man. I just say,
Oh
man, that's a
wow.
blessing. Who you telling, bro? That was big. So when you have a group of kids like this, I mean, you got to cherish it. And I have some of the best minds in basketball with this organization, with the Ken Angels. I say, man, all y'all just come. We want to make this special. And so we have Gabby helping out. We have Coach Dennis when he's in town helping out. We got Coach Washington. And I got one of my youngsters. I got to give her a shout out. I cannot go out, leave this podcast, but I'll make sure I say her name, Coach Gabby Halling. She's from San Antonio, Texas, man. She played basketball, point guard for the University of Georgia. So she's been with me right now the longest on this with this particular group. So she's doing a real good job, for these girls that I have as well.
I hear you, man. It sounds like a family affair you got going on there.
It is.
Yeah. So, Coach, I'm about to switch it real quick, and I'm gonna get back to basketball. The boudin balls, Coach. I need some boudin balls on when you come up this way.
Well, look, man. Listen, if you want some, I'll get them for you. I'll freeze them up, put them in the cooler. Make sure I got your number. You got to get them the first day I come down there. I'm gonna drive down. I was gonna drive down Thursday, but I think I'm gonna drive down Friday morning now because Kim had said that the games won't start until after 2:00. So there's only a 5-hour drive for us. So I'm gonna have that for you, man. I'm gonna have that for you. I promise you better read. You got to get them Friday though now.
Hey, got to get them Friday, man. I appreciate that, man. So, Coach, let me ask you this, man. I was looking around. I think I saw today where they was talking about the WNBA and they're going to start having chartered flights, for the ladies, and a lot of that was expected as they've been talking about it, especially as Caitlin Clark went into the WNBA. But you mentioned Angel Reese earlier, and we know the wonderful story about Dawn Staley and her program and the undefeated season. How do you see the women's basketball game, grassroots level, high school, middle school, high school, on the collegiate level, and in the WNBA? How do you see, what's the state of the game to you, and where do you see it going?
Okay, let me speak about for Louisiana. I know because they've always said, they had certain states out here who they always talk about girls basketball. They all talk Arizona, Texas, California, Georgia, Ohio, Florida, et cetera, et cetera. I have to say, let me start off with this guy right here by the name of Coach Golf. He was assistant coach over at Nicholls State. He got out college basketball and he started what is called Louisiana Girls Ranking. I thought that was big for the state of Louisiana because, we have a lot of talent here. So much talent that a lot of our girls play basketball in Texas. Now, Texas is supposed to be that state. But they get a lot of our girls from Louisiana to come play basketball over there. He's bringing a lot of recognitions. I think the other year, 2 years ago, we had more girls signed in the state of Louisiana than we've ever had before. I could be wrong. If I am, please put in the chat room. No, Coach, it was this year because I could be mistaken. But I know because of him, and I'm not talking about Power 5 schools. I'm just talking about schools in general, NAIA, Division II, mid-majors, JUCOs, et cetera, et cetera. So from the state of Louisiana, it is really growing. And from what Angel, and now that we have Mulkey at LSU, and the success that they have, I mean, that even brought it even more so for the state of Louisiana, recognition to girls basketball and more girls wanting to get into it because we started losing a lot of girls to volleyball. I don't know if you realize that or not, but now that we have any stars coming out with the NIL deals and stuff like that, I can't see it go nowhere but higher. If I didn't realize, didn't know anything about the charter flights or anything like that. It's the first time I'm hearing about that. Yeah. But I think, this is good for basketball, the clocks. And, I can remember that was one of the things that made my daughters want to play basketball, just the excitement of it. And so when you have guys and girls like this in the game, it brings excitement and it makes them want to participate. So I think it's a good thing that they're doing. I'm glad they're starting to, recognize that these girls do have talent. They can play. And they even talking about bringing a team. I know it's a questionnaire or something that came out somewhere. I saw a couple of times that they want to bring basketball, girls, WNBA basketball to the state of Louisiana. That would be huge because then that would bring more recognition for our state and more girls want to participate in it.
Gotcha. We got Jay Chevrolet. She asks, how does playing basketball build character in young ladies?
One more time, I couldn't hear what you said.
She said, how does playing basketball build character in young ladies?
Well, it teaches you discipline, and it teaches how to play, and not just play, but how to work well with others. If you want to, be a good basketball player, you just want to play sports, period. Now you don't have to just be basketball, sports, period. It takes a lot of dedication. One of the things that my daughter went to school, and this school is one of the top schools in the state of Louisiana. And when she went for orientation, one of the things they kept telling her, time management. You got to manage your time. You can't sit around and think that, you're going to get it done later, whatever. No, you got to manage your time to make sure it gets done. In basketball and sports period teaches you how to do that, because if you don't manage your time well, then you're not going to be good in your books, or you're not going to be as good as you want to, or in a particular sport that you're playing. So it builds character because it teaches you some structure, it teaches you discipline, and it teaches you how to be unified with other group of people and how to work well with them.
Man, that's it right there, Coach, man. I'm going to get you up out of here on this one, man. Who's going to win the NBA? I know we've been talking about WNBA and the women's game, but as far as on that men's side, man, who's going to win the NBA championship this year?
Well, my Pelicans are out right now. They're not looking too good. Right now, I'm going to tell you, I was thinking the Clippers were going to do something, but, man, Dallas, they're looking really good, and OKC looking pretty good. It's going to be one of those two teams right there, I think, that's going to put it on out.
Now, did you see the game with Minnesota and Denver last night?
No, I didn't see it. Man, I had to go to Hammond, Louisiana. My oldest twin, she was moving out of her dorm, and so I didn't get a chance. I had to go to after work. I had to shoot out to Hammond, help her move, and then I came back. By the time I came back, it was all over. Yeah, man,
that Minnesota team with Ant-Man, they really playing some good basketball, but we'll see how it goes out, man. Yeah,
that dude, he's deadly, man. I don't know what they're gonna do. He's a problem.
Yeah, he's for a long, just 22, 23 years old. He's gonna be the problem for a very long time.
Problem. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Coach, man, thank you so much for joining us on the RBA podcast tonight.
No problem, man. If I'm hoping that everybody understand the significance of these young ladies, and I hope they come out to these games and especially support Kim and in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm sorry, and and make this thing big. Round ball basketball is doing some big things, and I think Kim is doing a good job.
That's it, man. So we thank you for your support. We thank the program for your support, man, and we look forward to seeing your program at Capital Cool Classic in Birmingham, Alabama. On May 17th and 19th, man. It is going to be an epic event, man. You're going to have, the talent, the competition, the coaches. It's all going to be right here in Birmingham, Alabama. And we can't wait for it to come. We can't wait for May 17th to get here. And we definitely can't wait to be able to see your team, because I got to make sure I see your team and see.
Please do so. Please do so.
It's loaded, talented group, man. So we look forward to it.
Yes, sir.
Coach, thank you so much. Go ahead.
No problem. I want to send a shout out to all the Ken and Angels family. I hope they're sitting there watching. Dennis, Jamie, Gabby, Washington, Green, all the family. I'm hoping they're watching this right now. And shout out to you all.
Man, you got a lot of comments in that chat, man. They locked in, they tune in to support Coach Heard, man. So yeah, you did an amazing job, man. You definitely, obviously, impacting a lot of lives, man. So I want to salute you tonight, and just want to thank everyone who tuned in tonight. Thank you for tuning in to the RBA podcast. We'll be right back here tomorrow night in the RBA podcast. And have another coach that's going to be bringing his team to the Capital Cool Classic. I'm not going to tell you who. You got to lock into the RBA social media platforms, and I'll be dropping that information pretty soon so you can see who's bringing me on. But tonight we had the great Coach Alton Heard, and Coach, we salute you and we thank you for everything.
Thank you, Terry, man. You take it easy, and I'll see you Friday with them boudin balls.
I'll see you Friday with May 17th with them boudin balls.
All right, brother. Take it easy, my man.
All right, man. Thank you too, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. You have a good one.
Yeah.